Hi, I'm Mayor Frank Jackson. You've probably seen media coverage of the growing opioid epidemic in northeastern Ohio. But what you might not know is how many of these tragedies begin with a seemingly innocent prescription for pain medication. That is why we're teaming with the Cuyahoga County Opiate Marketing Task Force to encourage you to know the risk. Go to the website on your screen to learn which pills are opiates and alternative ways of dealing with pain. What starts as a prescription can end with addiction, so know the risk.
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if you may have prediabetes. You can do it here. But you probably won't. You're busy. Kids, work, show coming back in 48 seconds. So let's do this now. Hold up one finger if you're a man, women, 0. 3 more fingers if you're over 60, 2 over 50, 1 over 40. If you're not sure, keep in mind you're sitting on a couch right now, so 1 more finger if you're not very active. 1 finger if yes, 0 if no. 1 yes, 0 no. Next, find the body type that looks most like you and hold up that many fingers while I look around awkwardly. And that's it. If you're holding up 5 fingers or more, you probably have prediabetes. Sorry to be so blunt, but hey, you're busy. Just go to the site.
So first up, we have with us today my boss, Executive Director Rob Curry of CHN, who also was the Director of Slavic Village Development, which was Broadway Coalition, Housing Coalition back in the 80s. So Rob.
Thank you. I think we have 3 of the 5 generations of Slavic Village Development Directors here today. You could just see sort of aging timelines. With that, I need to, on the piano, who are you? That was really good. What's your name? Well, wonderful. I believe a resident of CHN Housing Partners Homes. I believe he's involved in summer employment here. I think we have well over 100 kids who live in our homes involved in summer employment. With that, I'm always given a script, and I've thrown it out already. Rochelle Harris. She joined us just 1.5 years ago to run a very small section, our sort of third-party property management division. Within 1.5 years, she rose to be director of the entire property management department. We need to think about next-gen leadership within our organization, and Rochelle is our next-gen leadership. With that, a bit about CHN Housing Partners. Even though we've developed well over 6,000 units of affordable housing, at our heart and soul, we're all about this single family, what we call lease purchase program, that's tied to the low-income housing tax credit, which means it's a 15-year clock on the home that it needs to be rented after which families take title. We have close to 1,200 families who have taken title. We track them for 5 years. After taking title, 98% are still in their homes. Of the remaining 2%, it's really just market rate sales like you and I do. Also, between 85 and 90% of each cluster of families, these limited partnerships reach year 16. Between 85 and 90% of the families do decide to take title. So that's our heart and soul, but all in between lease purchase approach and regular for sale homes, we've developed around 4,000 single-family homes in the city of Cleveland. But really, over the last 20 years, we've gone into sort of housing stability, housing sustainability services. And so we have a robust energy conservation set of programs where this year we're expecting to complete 9,000 jobs, all free of charge for low-income homeowners. We have sort of a suite of services all designed around sort of utility bill payment assistance. We have sort of a go deep with each family that lives in our home, sort of our resident services arm. We have crisis intervention, everything from foreclosure to not being able to pay certain utility bills, et cetera. So really we have that's our heart and soul right now. And it comes down to leadership, and I always want to start with our board. You are the people who hold us accountable and fiduciary responsibility. Mike Griffin, lots of other board members. Mike is our current chair. Our senior staff team, it's Kate, Pat, Mark, Mary, and our newest addition, Kevin Nowak. As a business, you understand we're an affordable housing real estate developer, but really our business model is complete vertical integration. What that means is we're the owner, developer. Our newest endeavor is we are the general contractor and we're the property manager. Within that, I need to give a shout out to some special people and of course we're the resident services provider. Bricks and mortar are necessary but not sufficient. You really need to go deep with the families. A shout out to several people. Real estate development, the project manager, James Downing. Yeah. And the leadership in his department are Lisa McGovern and Plarat Dresha. In construction, we have a threesome here. Chris Zielinski, Bill Jackson, and Michael Prince. Raise your hands, please. Yeah. Property management, it takes a family there. I've already mentioned Rochelle, but Slavic Village allowed us to hire Dolores Lozada. And so Dolores, and it ultimately takes a family. This is all about public policy. And it's all about our partners. And first, I need to give a shout out to Slavic Village Development, 25% owner, but much more. The whole context, the whole Fleet Avenue strategy, the whole rediscovering Slavic Village. It's all about Slavic Village, Chris Alvarado, and the capable staff. Affordable housing projects in America are driven by housing tax credits. OFA allocates, and the actual equity that's generated by those tax credits was provided by Enterprise Community Investments. Then you need to have a lender, Huntington National Bank. You need to have sort of second mortgages so that you can keep the homes, the rent level affordable. That's the city of Cleveland. You need land. It all comes down to both the city and the county land bank, and they're just amazing partners. And finally, it's community fabric. I already mentioned Slavic Village, but you look at Third Federal, the P16 initiative, kids from preschool to graduating college, the incredible work there. You look at the current residents, the families have moved into 37 homes, right? 37? How much I do my homework, yeah. And then you have your professionals in the construction area, like city architecture, design these homes. And once again, we self-performed general contracting services through our CHN construction department. We're really fortunate. I feel fortunate. It's a supportive environment. It's a great neighborhood. With that, I turn it back to Rochelle.
Thank you, Rob. Can we also, Council President is here. Mr. Kelly, hi, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us here today. So next speaker we'll have is Councilman Brancatelli. Thank you.
Thank you all. What a beautiful day. I was telling Rob, it was 30 years ago this month that Rob had asked me if I would consider being executive director of back then Broadway Area Housing Coalition, now Slavic Village Development. Who knew that many gray hairs later, I'd still be doing public service as a councilman. But it is exciting to be here. When you look at all the development that's going on around our city, and then you look at the challenges that we faced here in Slavic Village, my executive assistant, Marcelina Sladuska, said, we really need to talk about the quality and about sustainability. I will talk a little bit about the bricks and mortar, and Chris Alvarado will talk about the people side. But on the bricks and mortar, you look at the development here, we got a great design team in city architecture and Cleveland Housing Network, and more importantly, we have a city of a planning department that really holds us to a high standard and expects, when you see the results of these homes in our neighborhood, when you look at the sustainability side of it, when you look at how efficient they are, when you look at really the impact they're going to have in our community and all these new rooftops that we're seeing, it really is a team effort. And I'm proud to work with Council President Kelly and Mayor Jackson when we look at all the infrastructure projects going around here. When you look at a brand new Broadway, when you look at a brand new Harvard, when you look at East 71st Street, all the work that's being done in infrastructure, this whole argument some folks look at downtown versus our neighborhoods is just a false scenario. When you look at the investments that are happening, when you see 37 new homes, millions of dollars invested, it is significant. When you look at what Slavic Village Recovery is doing with nearly 50 new buyers in homes that were formerly foreclosed on. When you look at the Neighbors Invest in Broadway, it is about the people, it is about investment in bricks and mortar. Millions of dollars invested in our communities make a significant impact. We are calling this a new neighborhood. When I look back at when I first walked into City Council and got welcomed to a foreclosure crisis, never seen before, when Slavic Village had the highest foreclosure rate in the entire United States. Philip Morris once said from the Plain Dealer that if you can't save Slavic Village, you can't save this city. All of the work that these people are doing today is saving our city. You're seeing these neighborhoods come back, not just the Ohio cities and Detroit shoreways, but you're seeing some of our core neighborhoods through the Mayor's Neighborhood Transformation Plan. You're seeing significant investments occurring. So it is a great partnership that is occurring throughout our neighborhood to see the kind of investments. The most sustainable thing we can do is build on former lots. When you look at a city that was built for 900,000 people, being able to reclaim these lots, build 37 new homes, rehab another 100 homes the past few years, that's the most sustainable thing we can do. We have an incredible infrastructure, a wonderful water department. We have the resources to build on these lots and put more rooftops back in our community that helps create jobs, that helps these small businesses that are coming in. As Rob talked about Fleet Avenue and chain reaction and the investments that are occurring with these small businesses, it requires people in fannies in the seats. That's really the driving force. And we have some wonderful families moving in. I want to make sure that I recognize Ms. Williams and hand her a voter registration card so she knows, she moved here from Maple Heights. Her son, Alan, please stand up. So this young man is now looking for a high school, so I know there's some Central Catholic young men here. So looks like a nice inside linebacker if you're looking for somebody for the football team. He loves playing football, so let's not lose an opportunity to get him into our wonderful school here at Central Catholic. And also, I want to give Ms. Williams a phone card here. If you ever need anything, there's all these numbers on here. Any issues come up, I highlighted the mayor's action line here, so we're really excited that we're seeing these lovely families moving into our neighborhood. We're excited to see this kind of development. Thank you to all the partners that are making this happen, and have a great day. Thank you. Well, I forgot I was supposed to introduce Chris. One of the 4 generations of directors at Slavic Village Development. When we talk about community development corporations, you see issues at some CDCs happen when they're very singular in how they operate, and you see successful CDCs. Chris represents Slavic Village Development, which is 6 CDCs that have merged over time into one large organization that is very proactive and very engaged, and we're very pleased to have Chris as our director of Slavic Village Development.
So between Rob and Tony and Marie Kittredge, who was a director before I came here 4 years ago, I've had some pretty big shoes to fill. One of the other things that I'm grateful for with regard to our relationship with Tony, besides being a council member, besides having been a director at Slavic Village Development, besides being a great neighbor here and just being a part of this neighborhood. Since he was born, he's also the chair for the Cuyahoga Land Bank, who has been a remarkable partner, not just for the 37 vacant lots, formerly vacant lots that are now homes here in Slavic Village, but also for the nearly 100 formerly vacant abandoned buildings that are now home to almost 100 families here in Slavic Village. It's a cliche to say that it takes a village, but there's a reason why it's a cliche. It's because it's true. Until I came to Slavic Village 4 years ago, I really took for granted everything that is involved with building stability at home. The fact that I was able to be born in and live in a home that my parents owned for the entire time that I was growing up is something that I took for granted. The fact that both my folks had jobs that were able to sustain our family was something I took for granted. The fact that I had good schools to go to and I had after-school jobs to attend, and all the opportunities that go with building home and building stability and building the skills that I needed to do better. Those are things that I took for granted. And it wasn't until I came to Slavic Village and I saw all the things that we were already doing with Cleveland Central Catholic just down the block, with the Third Federal Foundation, Third Federal Savings and Loan, with the City of Cleveland, with the councilmen, with CHN, Housing Partners, with the Boys and Girls Club, with CEOGC, with all these different folks that are working together day in and day out to build stability, to build wealth, to build skills, to build the types of everyday things that go into raising a family, taking care of your parents, building relationships with your friends, with your teachers, and with folks throughout a neighborhood. Those are things that I took for granted until I came here, and I'm thrilled that we're able to build this model for household stability with all the different partners, from the city to the state to enterprise to dozens and dozens of folks. So I'm thrilled to be a part of this. I'm thrilled with the wonderful staff that we have at Slavic Village Development, who do this work day in and day out, and who love this work and who love this neighborhood. So thank you all for coming out, and I'll pass this back to Rochelle. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Next, we will have Sean O'Hagan, who is the Senior Underwriter for Enterprise Community Investment. And we just want to say we're just so grateful for Enterprise for the work that they do here in this community and other communities around Ohio. Sean.
Hey, good morning. What a great day. And, CHN, SVD, thanks for inviting us to participate today. I'm not a former executive director at Slavic Village, so it's nice to be included anyway. The homes really look terrific. The neighborhood really looks terrific. At Enterprise, we work nationally to create opportunity for low and moderate income households. through affordable housing in diverse, thriving communities. And everything we accomplish is done through partnerships with organizations like Slavic Village Development, like CHN Housing Partners, groups that are strategic and tireless in their efforts to improve the lives of people and families in our neighborhoods. And Ohio has always been an important place for enterprise, due in no small part to our partners in the neighborhoods at the city, at the Ohio Housing Finance Agency, and with a great group of investors. Enterprise over the last 30 years has invested almost $870 million in Ohio and helped to create and preserve over 10,000 affordable homes. And this work is so important. The need for affordable housing is not subsiding. Rents are steadily increasing throughout the region, and all too often wages are remaining stagnant. In Cuyahoga County alone, there are 96,000 low-income households that are severely rent-burdened. They're paying over 50% of their income towards housing costs. It's staggering. And projects like Slavic Village, Green Homes, do so much to give residents a foothold and a chance to enjoy the stability that an affordable home provides, a chance to have dreams for your family, and a chance to have a neighborhood with you to help you work hard and to chase those dreams. So Enterprise is very proud to partner with Slavic Village Development and CHN Housing Partners on this project. We're excited to be here to celebrate its opening, to help welcome residents to their new homes. And finally, I'd offer a quick note of appreciation to Huntington Bank, who's investing $7.8 million in this project through Enterprise, through low-income housing tax credits and through solar credits. Huntington's a great partner. They've helped us invest in a number of important projects here in Cleveland, so to everyone from the Huntington team, thanks for working with us and for your commitment to Cleveland neighborhoods. Thanks again, and heartfelt congratulations to CHN and the Slavic Village.
Thank you, Sean. Without this next organization, building affordable housing would just be a dream. So we will have Guy Ford, who is the Director of Legislative Affairs from OFA, who will come up to speak next.
Thank you, and good morning. What a wonderful morning for this event. This is, I don't know how you pick the best day of the summer for this, but congratulations to Rob and everybody else who had something to do with that. I should just say right off the bat, this is my first trip to Slavic Village. I've heard a lot about it, and everything I've heard is positive. And I was really anxious to get up here and see what all the excitement is about. So I came in on Fleet Avenue, which is impressive. You turn off the freeway and boom, it's like, whoa, somebody's doing something right here. It makes a great first impression, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's been involved in this particular development as well. I've got my own cheering section today I got to tell you about. I shouldn't say I brought them. They were going to be here anyway, but they're here in the front row. These are the folks that, just give a wave here, that really make it, they make it happen at OFA. I think everybody works in the Preservation, Planning, and Development Office. They're the ones that have to do the tough work of evaluating all the different applications we get. Rob and the folks that work in this field understand that it's a highly competitive program. It's not an easy thing to have to pick winners and losers when so many great applications don't get funded because we just don't have enough resources each year to fund every application we get. So it's a particular honor when a project does get picked because probably twice as many people went home unhappy that particular year. So congratulations to the folks at CHN on that. You're working in for this particular development, a challenging part of our program. I'd say that Rob mentioned the lease purchase program. It's not the easiest thing to pull off, and nobody does it better, in my experience at OFA, than CHN and Rob Curry and his crew. So we're always very comfortable when we see an application from Rob and from the folks at CHN. So for this particular deal, I think we allocated something like $700,000 worth of low-income housing tax credits, which then get leveraged into private investment that you'll hear about a little bit more. They're sort of the cornerstone of deals like this. Without the low-income housing tax credit program, I don't think we'd be able to find a way to build these kinds of developments and rehabilitate neighborhoods like we can. And I was happy to hear that someone's here from Congresswoman Fudge's office. Did you? There you are. Well, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you being here and all the help that Congresswoman Fudge gives us in Washington and the support she gives here in Cleveland. So I'm the legislative guy at the Ohio Housing Finance Agency, so I'm always thrilled when elected officials come out. I was happy to see Councilman Brancatelli's name on the on the program, as well as Mayor Jackson, and I think Council President, is it Kelly? I'm sorry, I don't think we've had a chance to actually meet before, but thank you for coming as well. It's great to have the support of the community on these kinds of types of development. So with that, I'd just like to say congratulations on a job well done. Get a chance to say hello to these folks down here. Sam McCoskey, who's over here, has a real soft spot in her heart for this particular deal because she informs me that it was the last project she worked on before she took off for maternity leave and had her newborn baby, Elliot. So congratulations on that. Well, no, but it was a special project for you, so I'm glad you were able to come up and see this this day as well. All right, thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Guy. Next, we will have Sean Richardson, who is the regional president of Huntington Bank.
Well, thank you. Thank you, and good morning. I'd offer to you, this is the best view of the morning. We get to see all of the constituents that make a day like this possible. So if you would, take a look behind you and see all the faces of the village and of the neighborhood and know that it truly, Chris, to your point, it does take a village. And this is a village that is cohesive, and we are very proud to partner with all of the colleagues on stage and everybody that makes this happen. So you've heard a little bit about the complexities of putting something like this together, the tax credits, the equity investors, the help that the city provides. The role that Huntington plays is sort of this very simple. We're that pocket of money that helps the project come out of the ground. Once the equity's in, we're a construction lender. Most of us understand that role. It's on the punch list. This is not our first partnership in this fine neighborhood. In January of 2014, we originated a revolving line of credit to facilitate the rehabilitation and sale of homes for Slavic Village Recovery, now Slavic Village Rediscovered. Northwest Bank and Forest City joined us as partners, great partners. And in the past 4 years, we've had the opportunity to finance about 20 of those homes. In 2017, Village Capital took over, but we're still involved in that effort. Our commitment to this neighborhood is not limited to housing projects. Many of you know that in 2017, Huntington opened a branch in Slavic Village. Just to repeat that, while others were closing, we joined our friends at Third Federal and doubled down on this neighborhood. So we're very proudly serving the community from 57th and Broadway. We have many, many Huntington colleagues here today. Our branch manager is a terrific young man, and he leads a great team there, Mike Krasinczyk. So Cleveland's strength comes from the neighborhood organization and the partners. And there's lots of thanks to go around, and there's lots of people to slap on the back, but it is the germination, the origination of ideas like this that come from those that you heard from before, from Chris, from Rob and from their teams and their board. So I congratulate you. I thank you for inviting us, for giving us the opportunity to take a moment in this, the pride of the neighborhood and the pride of your accomplishments. Congratulations.
Thank you, Sean. We could really spend an entire day really talking about the investment and the leadership that Third Federal has put into Slavic Village and its neighborhood. So we would like to introduce Sharon Posner to come up and speak from Third Federal Bank.
Thank you very much. It is our pleasure to be here, and I say our because there are many Third Federal associates with me here today. So, as many of you may know, this year is Third Federal's 80th anniversary. We started in Slavic Village, just down Broadway and 70th, and our main campus is still right over here on Broadway. We have over 700 associates working out of that office, and we're very proud to participate in all of the programs that happen in this neighborhood. But this one is especially important to us. Our founders, Ben and Jerome Stefanski, founded the mission, the bank on the mission of helping people achieve the dream of home ownership. That is our passion, that's what we do every day, and clearly that's what everyone else here feels very passionate about. Our foundation, our Third Federal Foundation, has invested more than $30 million in this area, both in education, literacy, and housing. Our P16 program, which was mentioned earlier, is our cradle to career educational model, and it's going to participate in the strong network of community partners supporting these green homes. Green homes, affordable housing, is something that's very near and dear to us. We also are building another development in Slavic Village called Trailside, also affordable housing. The lease to purchase program provides just one more option to give people access to home ownership. Home ownership allows people to commit to their community and allows the community to commit to them. By supporting them in various ways, this investment goes much deeper than just a mortgage. To walk into your brand new home that you can easily maintain because it's already in good shape, to know that your family is going to live and grow and thrive here, to know that these programs will support education in the community, that is just an awesome possibility and one we greatly applaud. Third Federal has values of love, trust, respect, commitment to excellence, and fun. And we do like to have a lot of fun, which we do have a lot of fun in Slavic Village. Those same values are reflected every day in the people that we work with in Slavic Village, all the great people that you see on this stage today, the community members that we interact with, our associates that have chosen to work in this neighborhood. And we are so happy that that will be the experience that others have too, now living in this community. Thank you so much for having us participate, and thank you and congratulations on this great project.
Thank you, Sharon. Next, we will have Geronda Williams come up and say a few words. She is the new resident with the ribbon in front. She moved in with her family in late May, so we'll have her come up and say a few words.
Hi, my name is Geronda Williams. Do you see the house with the red bow behind us? I live there with my teenage son, Alan, my daughter, Alexis, my grandson, Quayshawn. I have 3 bedrooms, 2 full baths. My house is beautiful. I moved in a couple of months ago from Maple Heights. I work as a home health aide. This home brought me closer to work. I work just down the street. My family lives closer to here, so now I can see them more often for family gatherings. We love this house, especially how safe and clean it is for my young grandson. I want to thank everybody who made this project and my house possible. My family, I love it, and we're so grateful to have this wonderful place to call home. Thank you.
Thank you. So my staff always quakes in their shoes when they see I forgot my talking points, which is an introduction to who the heck the staff is who pulled this together. Kate's team, the lead person on this event is Laura Bustani, and she had a lot of help. So great job, and you chose the perfect day. Next, we've been talking a lot about Slavic Village and sort of the recovery, the rediscovery, if you might, and it all comes down to new homeowners and lots of other things. But CHN is right now in the midst of a serious due diligence about forming a residential lending arm in 2019. Why do I bring that up? There's really two Clevelands. The neighborhoods that have recovered from the housing crisis and the neighborhoods that have seen no significant recovery, whose property values are still sort of 25 to 30% of pre-financial crisis values. And it really comes down to, you look at the mortgage lending maps, and there are virtual mortgage lending deserts in Cleveland, and there's really a high correlation between that and low-income minority communities. And it's no fault of the banks. They're absolutely following federal regulations. It's really sort of, it takes more innovative underwriting, if you might, to tease out safe and sound lending beyond the parameters that banks can go. And so that's the whole due diligence piece, which really comes down to making sure we have a sufficient number of strong partners and backers. And that's where we're at right now. And, that story, I want to give the counter to that story. And it's really, we're in the heart of it right here in Slavic Village. Between Third Federal and Huntington, like Huntington was a driving mortgage force for the whole 50 homes that Chris and Tony referenced. So banks are stepping up to the table, but in order for lower income minority neighborhoods, both in the city and select areas within Cuyahoga County, to begin seeing a recovery, there needs to be home buyers, and that means there needs to be more mortgage qualifications. So that's our due diligence period right now. So with that, the man who needs no introduction, Mayor Frank Jackson, I just want to say what he means to me. He's accomplished with the school's initiatives where others have failed. He's accomplished a balanced budget where many other cities, especially in Ohio, when we were just absolutely pummeled by the legislature balancing its budget on the back of withdrawing resources for local political jurisdictions, he managed to do that. He managed to maintain and increase the tax base. Almost impossible to do, but he did it. He managed to sort of look at, create a positive approach to building the public safety force. Just all in. He's wise, he's steady, he's patient. Our mayor, Mayor Frank Jackson.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And how are you this morning? Good. Congratulations as well.
Thank you.
And congratulations to all the other families who are the beneficiaries of this initiative. Congratulations to the councilman, Slavic Village Development Corporation, and to all of the Slavic Village community and the people who live in Slavic Village. And congratulations to the designers, the builders, and the financiers, all those people who make this possible. But this just doesn't happen because it's a great ideal. It happens because somebody put some work in, and a whole lot of work. And And it goes a little bit deeper than just putting the work in. You have to put the work in, and you have to put it in with some love, with some passion and commitment. And that is what's happened here. Because you could take 37 tax credit homes and build them, and without the connectivity to that neighborhood, then you just have 37 tax credit homes, and it goes nowhere. But what you have here, you have a leadership that this is their home. And so when they make decisions based on what they love, their home. You have leadership here when they make decisions and they make the arrangements of who should benefit from those decisions. They look at the community. And so this is part of a vision that it has in it a strategic plan as to how to accomplish that vision. That 37 tax credit homes is just one part. Just one part, but it's an essential part of it. So I want to, again, congratulate all of those I mentioned, but really thank the leadership of the Slavic Village community and all those people who don't have the titles that we have, that because of their hard work and their commitment to stay in this neighborhood and continue to invest in this neighborhood, without them this would not work. So congratulations and thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Jackson, and thank you for your leadership and commitment to Cleveland. Next, I would like to recognize a few other people that we have here with us today. John and Kathleen Riziki, they own the home next door, and this is their lot, so they're hosting us today. We'd like to thank you. Our YOU students working for CHN summer program who were here last week along with the fire, police, and the EMS. We cleaned up their neighborhood last week. I'd like to thank you all as well. Cleveland Central Catholic students who are cleaning up the streets and neighborhoods every day, who live in this neighborhood. So we'd like to give a shout out to you and thank you. Our musician over here, Demetrius Tarleton, one of our YOU students, and also he lives in one of our CHN lease purchase homes. And lastly, I'm gonna put you on the spot. If we could have our CHN staff, if anybody from CHN is here, if you could stand and just thank you for all your hard work that you do every day. So now we are here for the event for the ribbon cutting. We are going to transition to Ms. Williams' home.
Every young family join in the many families that are here in our community. Welcome to the Slavic Village neighborhood. 3, 2, 1.